Yeah.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. And so this is the first time that we've tried to do a little hybrid thing, so we can be in person and people can pop in. And we can do it, with like 5 of us, 6 of us, we can get the technology going and everything. Shalene came early and logged in as I was driving down the highway. And let's see, we've got in the room, we have Shalene. Well, let's go around the room, and the owl should pick you up when you talk. So let's see if it works.
Hey, Owl, I'm Shalene. Hi, everyone. Shalene Powell. Nice to see you all.
I'm Brian here. I'm freaked out by the owl, I have to say.
Followed you.
Hi, this is Corey, and this is the first time I've seen the owl, and it's amazing. If anybody wonders what this is, it's like a camera, but it's like many cameras all the way around, and it looks like an owl, so it's pretty neat. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Polly Branch. Good to see everyone.
Hi, I'm Joy, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, Greg.
Excellent. And it's a rainy night and a cold night out there. And then on the video machine, we've got Arts Commissioner Helen Dean. Doesn't it sound important when we say Arts Commissioner? Yeah. Helen Dean, and then we've got Catherine Devine and Katie Trazo, Jane Gabrielle. And is there anyone else there? All right, I think we got it. So as we dive into our very first hybrid meeting, we do want to get everybody together every Tuesday night who's available. Not everybody can make every Tuesday night, but we've got so much happening this year, and we've got to get a little momentum and a rhythm going, and I think that's really going to help us. And we have pressed the record button, so we'll record this and we'll post it online afterwards. And we want to do a few things tonight, and it's a kind of a nice sized group for our primary thing, which is to talk about the values with which we do the work that we're doing. So, and this will be kind of an iterative conversation, and it's one way to invite people into the conversation. We always have to be able to, welcome the next people who find out about what we're trying to do. And one way to do that is to talk about why we're doing what we do, why we believe in what we're doing, why we think it's important, but most importantly, what we believe in, and that touches something kind of fundamental in us, and people feel that when we're talking to them. So it's less, and it keeps us on the same page as well. And we're trying to do so much work so quickly. At points, we're going to have to step back and say, well, why are we doing this? And where do we need to slow down to do better work? So we're going to have that conversation. We're also going to talk about getting the catalogs out, talk about the Arts Pop event that's coming up, give Polly a little bit of chance to talk about the upcoming point in time survey resource fair that's going to be happening. And then just talk about a little bit more about what's ahead. But I do want to thank everybody who was able to come out, everybody who was able to come out as we launched the catalog. And I have a visual aid here because it's in my bag, and I'm not going anywhere without it now. And so I can whip it out and start talking to people about it in random places, even when they don't ask. And so thank you for doing that. We had a terrific time. Shalene, you want to make some comments about that?
Oh, the launch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think a handful of you were here. You were there. It was just a really feel-good day. It was a rotating door. A lot of people came in, picked up their catalogs. Buzz for Good got some great footage and interviews with folks. I think it was just a positive celebration of this catalog that exists in physical form now. So I enjoyed it. I hope you all did. You have your catalogs and bags.
Anybody else have any comments?
I stopped by there today. I wanted to talk to Julianne Jacob, who put together the catalog, and it's gorgeous. And what I wanted to do is that just one of the many things she had to do to pull that off is to break things into categories.
Mhm.
And how she had a logo just for the parade one. So I went to ask her today, could I use that logo for the posters, and so she sent it to me today, so that was really great.
Yes, yes. Yep, excellent. And I love the parade. It's actually my favorite of the little icons.
It's a lovely one, yeah.
I wanna look at it.
Yeah. So everybody can look
Like
at.
my make it flag with that on it, which would be kind of nice.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That probably made her really happy, actually, you know.
So, and we hear somebody else is coming in.
Yeah, so much creativity that went into.
Hey, it's Justin.
Hey there.
So, okay, so that's that. So we got lots of catalogs, and thanks everybody who came out. You saw in the newsletter, there were a couple of pictures, one of the placemaking committee work, and then one of everybody who was here the other night. Did you see that in the newsletter? Probably was in it. Did you see yourself in the newsletter? Okay.
I saw you in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so also when we did the kits, we did this one little sheet, and I wanted to use this as our launch point for kind of our values and what we believe in the work that we're doing. And I started off saying we can model the way. We are all creative. We can each use our creativity to improve our community. We don't need to have all the answers to get started. Learning together creates new possibilities. Our sense of fun and joy attracts and inspires others, even in tough times. And then as we're inspiring others, we're delivering that message that we are all creative, and engaging more people and using our creativity to improve the community. And then it just keeps going. So those were some of, and then at the bottom, kind of what we're working toward, that, you know, and every Roanoke neighborhood is worth investment. And it's not just the places that have seen investment. And we need to look at all around us with fresh eyes. So these are just some things that I wanted to put them in front of you and do a couple of things. One, ask if there's any reason not to work under this framework, because it is in Canva and it's very easy to change some words. It's very easy to take something out. And I don't want to put something out there and say, this is how we're doing it, without all of us like saying, okay, yeah, this is a good starting point and we can tailor it as we go. So that's the first thing I want to ask. And then I want to ask, what beliefs drive your work individually? So we can add to the conversation. And then third, I'd like to ask you to choose one phrase from everything we talked about that you might use as a touchstone for this year or the coming months, just something that we've discussed, and you don't have to share it with anybody, but I really do believe in kind of a focus point. So in kind of like if you do yoga, like an intention, I get so much more out of it, and because I had one last year, I have one again this year. And it's a little reminder, like kind of continual improvement in a way, but also like what I'm aspiring toward. And so I think if we have this conversation, I'll be able to kind of refine some more. And this is also going to help us give that language then to bring more people into the work that we're doing as we push forward. So, any questions on those three things? All right, we're gonna dive right into it. First, any reason not to use this framework? And I can make it big again too. Yeah, is there anything in there that you see that sticks out?
Well, I was really impressed by this, and I think it's great, so I don't have any complaints at all, but just asking the question, you know, is there any reason to not work under it? I mean, you know, it's nice to get that perspective and give everyone a chance to speak up. So just asking the question is a really great way, you know, just in case, but, you know, that's all great.
Great. Yeah. Catherine, okay. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm working on something. I don't want to make a bunch of noise. But yeah, I think I appreciate the circular part of it. I don't think you skipped anything that needs to be part of it. So I definitely, I mean, I don't, I don't want to give the impression that everything we do is all fun and joy, but there is that part of it that makes you want to do it. So I'm completely comfortable with the way you phrased everything.
And there will be, when we get to this next part, that would be a little more additive or generative. There'll be some things that are driving us individually that will be heavy, that will come into this, I think. I think we're all, one thing that's just struck me in the last 2 years or however long we've been talking about this and doing it is just how many artists, and I know not every artist is built as a community artist or participatory artist or working in a social practice, but it's just striking me how many artists really do care about big, tough issues, and are very thoughtful around them. That shouldn't be surprising, at all, right? But it's been striking, yeah. All right, anybody else? Any other thoughts on this?
I was thinking like, based on what Catherine was saying about fun and joy, like maybe there's an additional component, like not just fun and joy, but compassion and openness, like our sense of compassion for the communities and people around us, and openness, like our willingness to try new things. I don't know, like just like an expansion of that.
Curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity.
That's good.
Oh, you're hitting on my word for the year. You're getting close, you're getting very close to it. Or my intention, yeah. Okay, and curiosity. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think this is very important and you've worded it nicely and, it reminds me of principles that many cultures and individuals, families, faiths share. And the more we can find those common grounds, common foundation, perhaps the easier it is to engage in some of the new questions.
I guess I would want to put something out there. I don't know if this is the way to put it, needs to be in there, but I think it might be good to help people see that you don't have to be a professional working artist or even have a full-time, you can have a full-time job and still contribute creatively in your community. Because I think that's a big issue for a lot of people. Like, I'm not really an artist because I don't do this for my job. I think maybe this isn't the place to put it in there, but I definitely run into that a lot when I'm encouraging people to be part of this or sign up for the newsletter. It's like, well, I'm not really an artist. So trying to broaden what that means to be, and I think you've done it with this, that it's to be creative, not necessarily to be what might be a label, but to actually be creative in the way that you interact with your community. I like what you've done. I wouldn't change it, but I definitely think that's something that might come up in a conversation one-on-one with somebody. Like, yes, you can still be part of this project, even if you're not working as an artist and making money in that way.
I think we're gonna continue to struggle with struggle with that a little bit. That word artist, we say creative, and that creative become a noun now, and you say, I'm a creative, and
Yeah.
then still only certain people identify with that word. But I don't know, we might keep modeling away, and maybe the language will be less important if we don't find the perfect word.
There are a couple in the chat too.
Oh, great.
Additional, I think Jane put some in.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, thank you. Shalene just reminded me that we have a chat feature.
Is it, do you see it, Nola? No.
Oh, I see it here. It's there, but it's
It's
not.
different, yeah. Was
Oh,
one of them
Oh, yeah.
healing?
Oh, I see. Hold on. I gotta do it so everybody can see it. I was doing it on my computer. Empathy, healing, listening. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are, Jane, are you able to come off of mute?
I
Or
thought I
you-
was.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you. You might have said it. Okay. Empathy, healing, and listening.
Yeah.
Did you want to say anything more about that? Or put it in a phrase or?
are we diving into the beliefs that drive your work individually? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think we're flowing right into that kind of nicely.
Okay, so my thing is care of the earth means care of humans and non-human beings of the planet and weaving into a beloved community. And the other, and this is an Estelle McCaddenism, a city is only as strong as our weakest neighborhood.
If you could drop those in the chat, I'd like to capture those.
I'll do that.
I got care and then and you can tell that you put a lot of thought into this on a kind of continually.
Continually.
Yeah.
I got a presentation of that, of my senior study, when I was at Goddard, that I have evolved along with the continued work I'm doing. So that might not be a bad presentation one of these nights.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm hearing everybody nodding their head. Seeing them nod their head. So, yeah. Excellent. And then, so for now, yeah, if you drop that into the chat, I'll grab it and put it in. So that it's captured and other people can read it as well. And then we'll have these notes along with the recording as well. Any other things that drive you and never feel like you have some of these things again too can be very, like I said, individual, and they can be very personal too. So you don't feel like you have to share. But
I think the idea that it's possible comes from just knowing that it's like I think about a teenager playing basketball for the first time and who's never touched the rim and never dunked the ball. It's like when you see LeBron on TV or when you see your classmates touch the rim and you know it's possible, then it's like you know yourself that you can do it and all you gotta do is work towards it and then you'll be able to touch the rim. So, with the dream, like whether it's a movie or a painting, whatever the case is, if you know it's possible, then it is possible, so you can do it.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone in a neighborhood noting that it felt as if there was a lack of belief in the greater visioning process. And so similarly, we can come up with phrases that perhaps compare the passion for sports or that visioning process before you hit the golf ball, or, some of those different types of phrases that humans use to help empower ourselves to believe in the possibilities. Those are fun conversations. And vary depending on who you're speaking with or the group.
For sure.
Yeah. I'd like to add on that thread of you don't have to be a professional working artist, you can contribute through your interests. Like for myself, what drives me is that not only are we all creative, but art is necessary for healing. That's how we heal our soul, whether it's painting or singing or whatever. Like we all have that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And if you're not practiced, it takes a great amount of courage. And see that blank canvas, start from nothing.
Yeah. And to add on to Joy, like if you're a person who needs healing, there's lots of other ways to, that are negative ways to feel like you're healing yourself, like, drugs and like crime. I'm not gonna suggest drugs or crime, but I'm just saying, when people were talking about the gun violence thing and all that, I know that's very layered, and it's hard to just say, oh, it's all drugs or whatever it is, but people that are hurting, they have a healthy way to express themselves with things like what we're doing, so it's a healthy outlet for people that need healing.
Yeah, I would, healing's on my list too. And one to add is connection and relationship building is something that drives me in my work.
Mm. Say a little bit more about that, Katie. if you don't mind.
I guess just when I think back on my life, what matters to me most is just like those moments you get to be with friends and community doing something that feels soulful and brings you in better connection. You know, it's not just like watching TV together and all tuning out or going to dinner and being on your cell phone devices, but you know, to really have that greater sense of connected community. There's a buzz in the air, and I think that really is critical. But it's just what makes life worth living to me. You know, that beauty and connection.
I felt that kind of connection when we were working on the Daisy Art Parade. And, I really enjoyed it for that reason. Yeah, but the word healing resonates with me too for this project. Because we're talking about connecting and strengthening neighborhoods, and I think there's a lot of healing that's interwoven throughout with that too. So, I don't know, I'm glad a lot of people
And
mentioned that.
recognizing the wound is part of that first step too. And I think ritual as well, along what Katie is talking about. The circle singing is ritualistic to me. It's something that happens and you become part of it rather than consciously deciding I'm gonna now be a creator and wear the creator hat before you do it. And so I think that's a beautiful thing about ritual. I think that's something that is, you're part of something, and you're not standing on a podium. You're part of a community. And I really like art events that happen like that. So transformation as well, I think, is another word that I go with that, because I think that's what ritual does, that it helps you transition from a state to another. And all of these meaningful or symbolic things you can do are also wonderful, because they're disarming. They take away authorship, I think, and create more of a community.
You know, that really resonated with me. And, you know, you think about ritual, and a lot of times some of the first things we think about are, you know, religion. You can think about just even how we open our council meetings. And I love the prayer. I love the Pledge of Allegiance at the opening of a council meeting. Liturgy in religious settings keeps me out, because I don't have a lifetime in it. I don't know it all. And you have to learn something from someone else. And you compare that to the Daisy Art Parade, where you are creating something and everyone is a part of it. It doesn't matter what you're creating or how you're creating it, but it's a different kind of ritual.
And it's not wrong, like I felt like there's no wrong, like just do your best and have fun.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about ritual, it depends on how you look at it. I'm not gonna get into my mythology class stuff, but the basic idea is that, you know, it's a community that creates the ritual. It's religion when there is a liturgy that then people participate under certain rules. And I like the idea that it's open for people to create as we go along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energizing.
I wanna add to that a word that came to me, co-creationship. It's like we're co-creating, and that's what links us into this relationship. So that's just something I've been exploring a little bit, because I feel like co-creationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little different than what you have there, Doug. It's co-creationship. It's a word that doesn't exist.
Now, I put a hyphen in it. Is that right?
Doesn't exist, even better.
Co-creation. Well, no,
Yeah, Joyce does it.
Yeah, I think that's a word.
It didn't spell check.
In fact, you know, when we started this Year of the Artist a couple of years ago, and I'm looking at Catherine. Catherine was like, you've got to have something. People want to know what this is, and I'm like, well, we have to build it together. And so, we weren't inviting enough people in because we couldn't communicate it, because we had to have everyone building it together. And so we had to start with one group of people, and hopefully that we're going to keep bringing in more and more people in. But that co-creationship is an interesting approach, And there aren't any rules for it. And maybe you can co-create it all as one big community, or you might have to start with some leaders to model the way, or some small group of people. And there might be artists. There might be artists.
It's often the challenge when, especially when you're working with a big idea or you're recreating a neighborhood or, dealing with reparations in Gainsborough, there are no rules, it's unprecedented, there's no guidelines. And yet we all come with certain assumptions or non-assumptions, which can help or hurt the process. And so it's like that bubble of, we may not know how to manifest a vision, but if we can stick to it and keep trying to come back with different groups and different languages, or purposes, or redefining the methods, then we can get closer and closer to that co-creationship.
Well,
Yeah.
I just want to share something. If we're getting into what beliefs drive your work, I just want to add that the connection that we can create, make the connections that I feel that influence me are not only just living human beings, but also like artists from the past and people who have created in different cultures that somehow influence me. So it is even looking at, being able to see other artists' work and seeing the influences that I can relate to, even if they're not in this community, but they're doing work similar in their own community. So I think the connection to other communities and to other artists, and even artists from the past that have, created the world we have now, like being able to kind of build on the work of artists and dreamers and visionaries from the past, that to me is also part of the connection that influences me probably more than a lot of other things.
Right. Anything else that drives your work individually that you'd like to put out here? And this will be a list that we'll be able to go back to and think about and incorporate, keep having conversations around. And everyone is going to communicate the work that we're doing differently in their own way and based in the work that you do as an individual. I think. But I think we're gonna keep drawing on this in different ways. Any other thoughts on this?
Doug, our land, our rivers, our trees, our wildlife. I know Jane was saying something akin to that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't, did it get in the chat? Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's not going in my chat here. I guess I probably have to reopen it. I can get it tonight if I don't get it right here. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my foundations, because I've been blessed or lucky to grow up being in nature and turning to nature and living beside it. I feel like it's easier to translate those relationships with my earth beings, to my human beings. They're all very curious. Some of them behave one way or another, some squeak, some chirp, some growl, and but I love them, and so if I have this belief that if more humans have a connection to the earth world, the natural world, it might be easier for us to hold faith towards our humans and friends. Oh, let's just hug everybody.
Well, I'm gonna grab this out of the chat tonight. I'll get the documentation of this and we'll incorporate that in there. Thanks, Gene. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do it on this computer. But yeah, and one thing too, I've always said part of my own personal brand of insanity is that I just see and feel connections in between everything. It's like I can't have two conversations about drawing a connection in between them. And that might be something that comes from an artistic practice.
Creativity.
Yeah. And so that might be another reason why artists are uniquely positioned to do some of this work because they can model those connections.
And we can observe it, we can observe why this angle connects to that atmospheric pressure that creates this effect over here. If we're painting a landscape or, and biologically, we literally are all connected in the air we breathe, the water we drink and the
We're also
ground.
wired to say yes because of that, I think. Because you're looking at possibilities.
Is that it?
Wired to say yes, I love
As
it.
opposed
Is that
to,
too weird?
No.
I think we're wired to say yes. I mean, I, in most conversations, as crazy as they are, saying, yeah, let's think about that.
Okay,
It still is, there's still possibility. If you say no, then it's done.
we're
Also, you're not as
legalistic-
busy if you say no.
all right, all right. So any other thoughts?
Well, I guess we've kind of gone through the second thing, what beliefs
Yeah.
drive your work individually.
Yeah.
I think we're in a constant state of learning, like I truly believe that, and so when I wake up, I mean, I don't actually say, what am I gonna learn today? But I pretty much like have that, like I expect like you learn something through everything, through failures, whatnot. So that's one belief personally, I have, and then also, and every year that goes by, I feel this even more and more, but that I am just a part of a whole, right? Like I'm only a part of and the whole can be ginormous, it's the whole everything. And I think keeping that in mind is really just, I think it's what's important to me, but.
You like that. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not lonely, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that,
Right?
But it's filled with so many possibilities,
Yeah.
and the dream, what you brought up with the dreaming and just if you think it and that, putting it out there.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can,
Right. That's
it's
it,
just.
yeah.
And if we value it all,
Mhm.
then, no one is left out as lesser than
Mhm.
another possibility.
And you're not alone. And you don't have to do it all yourself,
No.
which, because if you see the world around you, it can be overwhelming too, right?
Mhm.
Unless you've got the faith and ability to see that there is something much larger. There are many more people out there that we can draw on and engage and.
Like in neighborhoods.
Like in neighborhoods, yeah. Okay, anything else for this?
Well, I think what you just hit on really brought to me why we do this is because we do care. And one of the biggest, suffering that's going on all levels in our culture right now is loneliness. So creating an opportunity for people to be easily join in without having, all the things we're doing, make it easy for people to, I'll do this, or I'll host this, or I'll join in on a puppet show. I feel like that is a tremendous area of suffering that we as working creatives can really help make people feel more welcome and connected without making a big deal about it.
Thank you, yeah.
The word unity comes to me, that we're all unified rather than separate. So that's the opposite of.
Brian, the door just opened, Brian, looking to see who's out there.
Oh, wow, you heard that? I'm impressed.
No, there.
Okay, somebody might just open it and look down.
I'll have a look at this.
No, it's fine, we can hear if somebody comes in. Okay, unity, we're working, anything else on that?
Yeah, just unity versus separation.
Yeah.
Seeing other beings, other humans, other beings, animal beings as separate as other. My personal belief is that we're unified. We're all equally divine. We're all equally important.
Yeah, I'm really appreciating this line of conversation.
I
Sorry,
know.
Molly, if I cut you off.
No, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like there should be stars all around that, because I think about the stories of family members, like in earlier generations before technology was so pervasive and communities were more cohesive, but like thinking about the ways they fed each other, they really did the very foundational aspects of life together. And so I'm really interested in how this connection can help us weave back those ways of caring for one another.
Mhm.
Ooh, I just like that phrase, caring for one another.
Mhm.
Which goes in, I think there were some words like the empathy and that kind of connects there.
Mhm. Thank you.
Oh, and Doug, I said something a little different.
What would you say?
We are equally defined. I said we are equally
Oh,
divine.
I put divine. I don't know where
Oh,
divine came
that darn
from.
spell checker.
Oh, because I know what, because I spelled it wrong. Because it needs to start with an I, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Divine,
started with
much
it,
better.
the divine.
Define sounds.
It was like I had it spelled
Divine.
like the band. There was a band, the Divine.
We are all equally Catherine Divine.
Okay.
By the way,
Excellent.
this hybrid is the best hybrid experience I've ever had. That's a really awesome setup over there, and all y'all being in person is so great. It feels really generative.
It feels better being in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And we'll be able to record it and
Great.
let everybody, and it's gonna, if we're gonna do it every Tuesday night, we've gotta have something like this that's gonna keep us, keep everybody able to participate.
The only thing I'm lost on is like, where in the world are the cameras?
Oh, that's so funny because it's
It's in that-
so awesome.
That thing, he's
It's
like,
a
where is
magical-
it?
The bulb on top, is that where it's
No.
coming from, or the eyeball?
Oh, it might-
One of them, there's two views,
I-
individual.
This
and
is
then
so
all.
funny. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just giving us all these tiled panels of you all.
Now,
Oh,
and then we
sorry.
can see,
yeah.
so you
Oh,
can
sorry
see
about
what they're seeing on the
Yeah.
screen, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I see, yeah.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
cool.
All right, well, we're
Look like the
gonna,
Brady Bunch.
so I will invite you now, and I think I probably already have a sense, because some of you already kind of identified what you gravitate toward, or you've shared your very personal, kind of touchstone phrase. But do think about this, and we'll send the notes out, and I'll let you think about this on your own, kind of, what's gonna be your mantra this year, your little kind of personal word or phrase that you think about. And then, I'd like to talk next about our beautiful catalogs. We have a list of places where we might be able to put them. Now, we were talking about this, and they're like the Play magazine, Parks and Recreation puts them out. They pay a distributor to go out and take them out to places, and then there are racks there, and they'll put them out. And we were going to do that, and then just kept getting the message that wasn't the right path. And we thought, well, what if artists we split it up, and artists take 4 or 5 each and go out, and you can wear your little badge that you've got and take some and just talk to them about the program and what it's about. And like, say, maybe it's a library. The libraries have already said they're very happy to stock them, but we need somebody to run over to Williamson Road Library, for instance, and share with, I just lost his name, the manager of Williamson Road Library. I just did lose it, sorry. But talk to the manager of the place and the staff. And I think this is gonna be a lot better for us. Because then if a distributor would just take it and drop it off, and we will go and talk about it and spread the good news about the Arts Connect Neighbors strategy. And hopefully, if we have conversations, then they'll have conversations with people they come in contact with. So we have the list, and what I'll do is print it out here and have it in my office with a sign up. And so if you're willing to come and drop some off, you'll be able to put your initials and cross out the location. And so people know that one's taken care of, and then you can take the stacks of bundles of catalogs and head out there. I have numbers next to them that we were initially thinking, well, maybe this is how many we need to take. We just kind of made that up. So really, you know, if you take 32 stacks and that's 30 to each place, that's probably plenty for now. And we'll see how they go and we'll run out and we'll do it again in a few months. If somebody might reach out, or we might be in the coffee shop and see that there aren't any there, and we'll restock. But I'll have them, but I do have, you know, in my office, there's some stacks of our catalogs. And you'll see, if you weren't able to come to our pickup day, you can come to the pickup day or come to my office and get the tote. And it's got a little book there for the artist. There's a badge with your name on it on the tote. So find your tote bag, and then you can stuff it full with more catalogs if you want to. So I've got that's all my office during the 8 to 5 on any business day. That conference room is open and people have access to it. I don't need to be there. So, any questions about that?
I like this list a lot. Can I scroll
Oh,
down
yeah.
to some more?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I dropped off one of the Parks and Rec office today, and one also at the Mason Mankey for the
Oh, great.
streets and stuff.
Great.
So I think the more we get these to the people I worked with in the city,
Yeah.
so they have a copy of what we're talking about and they can turn to it.
Excellent. And the municipal building, I just plan on making some trips through with a satchel and just dropping them off in
Yeah.
places. There's some key places where we can leave them, I know, but even other offices where even the HR office and places that aren't on this list that no one stops me, I'm just gonna leave some.
And what I liked is actually open it up and point to it, saying this is what
Yeah.
we're doing, and then giving it to them. That's much
Exactly.
better than leaving on the file.
Exactly, yeah. And then I've got people who have reached out to, who we invited to the pickup day, who said, someone emailed me today and said, I was sick, can I get a catalog or a few? And I said, yes, I'll come bring that to you. So please do, sign that there. I'll leave a blank sheet too, and if you're gonna take it if you're taking them somewhere else, you can go ahead and write that down or email me and we'll
I can
keep.
do a bunch of these already, I can see them tomorrow.
Oh, excellent, great.
Yeah, me too. Like if we can sign up
You
for
can,
some tonight.
oh,
then-
yeah, you can.
Yeah, there's a
Definitely.
bunch of them I can
Hey,
do.
hey,
Oh, you
hey,
did.
Probably
Doug,
all the breweries.
do you have Brandon Theater on there? Yeah, you do. Yeah, I see it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we should definitely make sure Lee Hunsiger has a bunch for Hoot and Holler. But that's a
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
that's February 8th, so we can make sure that there's a lot on the table for her. People coming and going to that event, because that brings a lot.
Yep, and
5 points.
she's in the catalog.
Yeah, she'll be
5
excited.
points. I think 5 points is in there.
Yeah,
It
Is-
was at one point.
What about some of our, like, the big anchor, like, physical bricks and mortar spaces?
Like
Jefferson
Jefferson Center.
Yeah, we had Jefferson Center on the list, but the distributor said it wasn't a good place.
oh,
However,
Okay.
Corey was going to see if Bambi could take.
You have an in.
some. I guess the distributor
Yeah.
wasn't able to get things in there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have local colors there, for example, do we?
Well, that's a festival. You can certainly take it to local colors.
To
and
their office.
You can certainly
They
take
have
it,
an
yeah,
office right
yeah,
there at
yeah.
Jeff Center.
yeah.
And
I'm not sure how.
It's useful to go to their office than.
Yeah, to get
Oh,
a
right.
direct person who's gonna be
Yeah.
organizing the
Yeah.
general. function.
This is not meant to be inclusive. We're really relying on the artists to use your networks
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, I have a
and
lot.
Get them out there. Yeah. And
Like,
so
it's
like local
kind of-
colors, they'll probably want her
I want
to coach her to give it to her board. I'm not sure how much like foot traffic she actually has in her office
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, because I'm delivering one.
Oh, right.
Saying, hey,
Oh, right, yeah. Well, she knows about it. We were encouraging her to apply, but they
Yeah.
decided it wasn't the right year for them to get involved.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Shannon.
I forgot, but I think it was all discussed.
So we'll keep adding to this and I'll print it out right now and, so Jane picked up 45 more today, taking to the all hands meeting, points of diversity delivered yesterday to Kiwanis Club. See, Jane's done well. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I gave Miss Bean 30 the other day. I think probably 5 of us already been to Melrose Library with them. But
Can I get clarification? I mean, Miss Bean was really excited about it. And
Yeah.
we sat through like, okay, how does this work? And doing the QR code and here's the form. Can she request?
no,
Oh,
and we talked about this before, but and I talked with Sheila. Sheila is gonna have me give a presentation to the library staff. This is called Arts Connect Neighbors, and this is a capacity development program for neighborhoods. Now, the libraries have been doing events. They've been doing events for, I don't know, 30 years.
mhm.
And they will keep doing events, and they're great. I love them. I love libraries, and I was on the library advisory board. And Sheila promised me that they would pull the reins on their enthusiasm and encourage the neighborhoods to organize around this. So this is we're encouraging neighborhoods to form and to put on an event.
Can they
So-
have an event at the library?
And use
They
it.
can have an event at the library, and I told the library, they said, be ready, because you're gonna get lots of requests for the spaces. But we don't want the neighborhood leader to just put the onus on the library. Don't put Otis in the library. And so we really do want to keep, and this is what Joy and Katie and Antonio and all of us really are going to keep reinforcing. Why do you want to do the event? And what can you get out of it? What have your goals been for your neighborhood? And then we want to help them figure out how having kindness stones, doing a kindness stone project is going to help them achieve some of their neighborhood goals. Sure, they can go and paint the stones in the library, but if the library sets it up, then it's going to be the same people who are coming to the library, and it's not going to build the capacity of the neighborhoods.
Got it.
Yeah, so.
It's very well thought out. I like it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We're thought out up to this point. Everything has been like step by step, so we're.
Further than I have, so.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for your kind of excited engagement and getting these out there with our partners. And then I do want to hit for all the artists in residence, and we're going to order more. And Justin, I'll get you one of these.
Okay.
This book, Making Change, Teaching Artists and Their Role in Shaping a Better World. This guy, Eric Booth, he's been around for a long time, and I think he's trying to make his mission now really, how are we getting teaching artists working in the world and making it more of a movement. And so we'll be able to get more of these books. We'll get him to come and pop in on a Zoom call if we don't get him to come into town, perhaps even. I'm reading his other book, or one of his other books, The Everyday.
Yeah, that's the one that's been out for a long time.
Yeah. The Everyday
We
Work
used
of
that
Art.
for our school when we started.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it seems like it's right on. Yeah. And this one is very short, and it may not be, well, it's a framework for us to have a conversation, and to have a conversation in the community to say, this is why we're doing it. So, if anybody dives in, it's a short read, it's quick. If anybody dives into it and wants to be part of a kind of a planning and thinking about our sessions when we talk about it, I'd love to have you take that on. Yeah. All right. And then, let's see. Okay, next on the agenda is Arts Pop. Okay, so everybody here was very excited about that. I hope you at home were applauding. Arts Pop is March 1st and 2nd. It is the first weekend in March. And this is the third or fourth? Well, third.
Wasn't during COVID.
They didn't have it during COVID.
3, right?
So maybe this is the third time we've done it. And a lot of you were there last year. Polly and Jane and Brian, and a lot of you were there and part of it. And we typically have a lot of fun with this. This year, we've said, can we focus on our Arts Connect neighbors artists? And we'll be doing the same thing that we always do by having a table and engaging people and talking. We may not have the big wheel this time. Yeah.
Oh,
We're-
I love it that you were sad.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I've seen the drag it takes to bring it in.
The wheel can take a pause and come back out.
Yeah, it'll come
It'll
back.
come
We
back out.
we want to create more demand for the big wheel. And so as part of that, we're going to have slots. So at the Roanoke Arts Commission, Roanoke Cultural Endowment table, artists who have projects in the catalog are invited, or artists in residence are invited to be there. We're gonna have kind of a meet the artist time at the table. And you can do kind of some small engagements there that are just kind of off the cuff, or something that you enjoy doing. Meanwhile, we're gonna have access to the cafe space. And we're gonna do 1 hour mini workshops in the cafe space. So if you have a session that you're gonna be doing in the catalog and you want to provide a taster for it. So this would be to get people, and we'll market this, so people can come in, they know, at 10:30, Polly's gonna do the neighborhood, a sketch. You know, I know you got 2 pieces in there, I'll just draw one, do the
Or a
sketch.
singing circle.
Yeah, or there would be a singing circle. So, and they can come in and you're gonna provide that experience within an hour. And you don't wanna have the whole hour because the next group will have to come in. So probably about a half hour of content by the time you get going and then closing up. And it'll be just enough to give them a taste of it. So they go back and they wanna get it for their neighborhood.
Okay, I've asked this before and I'm still not clear. So one person or a neighborhood gets excited
Yes.
and they want to sign up for Joy's
Yes.
Circle Thing.
Yes.
Is it done now? There's no other
No.
signing up?
Oh, no. You're required, we ask the artist to commit to providing at least one. So there's a reason why we have it in there. We will do as many as we have funds to do. So if
So if 5 groups sign up,
if 5 groups say they
she's
want to do
willing.
singing circles and they're in 5 different parts of Roanoke especially, that'd be awesome. Then yes,
Yeah.
then we'll do that. And we've got a budget for doing this. And if we're rocking and rolling with this, we'll use percent for art funds. We will write more grants. We will talk to the community foundation. We will get more, if people respond to this, we'll keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
But,
Am I,
yeah,
can
it's a
you hear
good
me?
question. I'm glad you did.
We can hear you.
Catherine, yeah.
Okay, I guess, so I'm looking at it and I realized like last year I had a commitment on the weekend, but now I'm seeing it's Friday and Saturday, so it's not Sunday.
It's not Sunday this year, only
Okay, great.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay, can we, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up for a time on Friday, because I know I have something on that Saturday. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm already booked on that Saturday, but I can do that Friday.
Okay, great. Well, and on the Friday, the way it's a little quieter on the Friday, so we're just gonna
Okay.
have the kind of meet and greet at the table and we won't do the workshops, but yeah, so what time you wanna come?
I
Friday?
can, well, you can tell me what, I could come at 5:30, I think, and what, I guess what you're saying, I could have a table with my things out there and just basically interact with people and promote
Yeah.
it within my own group to say, come to the museum, kind of let people know that all of it's going on.
Yep, and Shalene and I will talk about it, because we'll get 2 tables, one for the endowment, one for us.
We won't take a lot of
and
space, so
we-
you can set up even on part of ours, absolutely.
And last year we had 2 artists at some points, right, Polly?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, so we can
So-
probably manage we can probably manage 2 artists at a time for that meet and greet part. And we'll have that all day Saturday as well for people who aren't.
So there's the artist meet and greet component that you have sign up for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
And then on Saturday only, there's the specific mini workshops that'll be in the little cafe there.
yeah, and there are 5 slots for the mini workshops.
And I guess the Taubman is, they rented it, somebody rented it for Sunday, which is why they're not doing it.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I couldn't remember the reason.
Can I do a little, I shared?
Yes.
So, in the catalog on page 36, there's, a and totally gonna brag on you, Doug, because this was such a great cross-pollination. So there's a plug for Roanoke Arts Pop, and so it says, hey, see you at Roanoke Arts Pop in the catalog. And meet our Arts Connect neighbors, artists, and try out a sample activity at the Taubman Museum of Art's annual Roanoke Arts Pop on March 1st and 2nd. So pop-up performances, and then it just plugs the Roanoke Arts Pop, and so, but there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic here, and so we'll be able to share this with all the people coming in, and we'll have those big posters.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the mini workshops, I know the Taubman's going to promote those on Saturdays.
Should even have
Yeah.
some parade props from last year.
Oh.
Good. I've also thought about doing the cranky if you wanted that,
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
but the parade props would be fun.
Yeah. So, they're very, the Taubman's very cooperative around, on this. They're really excited about this crossover. The sooner we get, the list of the workshops especially, and it'd be good to go ahead and get the artist list out there too. Then people can they'll look at the schedule in advance, and it'll be printed on the schedule and everything. So I'll send this out to everybody in a little reminder with notes and such.
Hey Doug, I gotta meet somebody, so I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
But you said you were gonna give me a book. Do you want me to meet you next time or?
I'm gonna order some more. So
Okay.
next time I see, I should have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Great. Thanks, Justin.
Thanks again, man.
You're welcome.
Can I just take a minute to invite you guys, next Tuesday, we have our gallery talk, and it's Nick, and I'm not gonna try to say his name because I don't think I know how to pronounce it correctly, but his portrait subject is Cindy Peterson. So I haven't pinned down for sure that she'll be able to make it, but we said we'd work around her schedule. Again, she can just pop in for a little bit. But anyhow, if you can make it, we'd love to have you guys. We have Ed, and Paulina, Nick, and Marissa Yee in her subject. So we have 3 artists and 3 great portraits to show off on Tuesday. If you can make it for the municipal building gallery talk, that'd be great.
That's gonna be a really good conversation. I think.
Yeah,
That's
it's exciting.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for setting that up, Catherine.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
And then Polly, you want to update on the resource fair or resource empowerment fair?
Yes, we have followed through on the original ideas for, Jane bringing spin art and mask supplies, and Corey and I working on a tree for attachable leaves for visitors to add their thoughts, or comments or suggestions, for the city. And Brett View is gonna bring some easels so we could do some portraits of people and we could take turns, with that. And Lisa with Mental Health in Motion is gonna have, a couple of activities. So I'm feeling good about it. I'm not positive if there's other people out there who want to be there, helping us. But the resource manager, Hope, and her partner, Brian, we're also gonna be looking for a couple of volunteers, which would be nice for us to be able to meet somebody new in the services, sector, working
Yeah.
with unhoused folks, so.
I did talk with Hope yesterday and reinforced that, and she wrote it down, the 2 volunteers. And she said the volunteers might, be from the kind of the Continuum of Care Network, or they might just be volunteers who said they're interested as
Okay.
well. So, so we'll see. I said either way, it'd be terrific.
Right, okay, and we'll be setting up at 8 o'clock on Thursday, January 25th. And stay until 1 to break down. Anybody have any questions out there in here?
It sounds really good.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's just the right amount. It doesn't have to be too much. It sounds manageable.
Mhm.
Yeah, just really, I really appreciate you doing it. And it was Helen Ferguson was the one who was going to follow up on and getting volunteers. She's working really even more closely on that. But Hope mentions it every time in the planning staff meetings. She's really excited about it. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Polly, can you hear me?
yes,
Yeah, I think I can. I wasn't. I couldn't think it through. But if this is a good idea for you, I had the idea of bringing just some scissors and white paper and doing those very simple folded paper snowflakes. And if that would
Great,
fit your tree idea, then maybe that would be a good fit.
sure.
Okay, because I got that idea when I was at the Swoon exhibit, because she does so much beautiful intricate cut paper, and I thought, ah, that's a fun one, because they always come out cool, right?
Yeah, well, and as you know, when we don't know how many people are coming to an open event, the more of us, the better.
Okay, well, that'd just be an easy one. I could just bring paper and scissors and just see how it works.
Awesome.
out. Okay,
Yay.
And then I do want to mention, everybody, the end of the month, we've got the Artist Action Grant. Grants are due. These used to be called Art Matters grants, but they are now called Artist Action Grants, because we want to give grants to artists to take action. That's just like they were before. It's for advancing justice, wellness, and inclusion in the community. It's an artist-driven project. Maximum is $3,000. We've got $15,000 that we've budgeted for this. So that application is online. On the PDF form of this, it's clickable, and it'll take you right to it, or you can just Google it and find it on our website.
okay,
So if you've been working with people or talked with people who said, oh, how'd you get to do this last year? Now's the time to reach back out to them and go, hey, that's available. You talked about wanting to do a project on X, and now some resources are there.
well, Doug, that's good, because I have so many people already saying they never heard about the catalog idea, and they wish they had gotten into it. So that's something I could say, well, if you got a good idea, that might be the way to put it out there to
Yeah.
apply for this.
I wish
grant.
I had told somebody about that catalog.
I know.
Well, these are the ways that we got involved with all this, right? We found out about the early
Yeah.
grants.
Right,
It's just
right.
it's a crescendo, it'll keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, like I said, you can't start with everybody all at one time, and not everybody is ready to hear a message or join at one time. I know how I am. I'm just like, I'm not ready for it sometimes. I'm not ready for it. Suddenly I'm ready for it. And yeah. And that is okay.
This is not something I should connect to groups who want to do something for Daisy Art Parade.
No,
I think it's more
yeah.
targeted for something else.
Yeah, this is for different projects. Yeah, this is to start the next Daisy Art Parade, the next,
Idea.
That's what I'm
idea.
telling people is like, yeah, next time around.
yeah. Excellent, but they can they can reach that through the Arts Connect Neighbors catalog and get an artist to support them, or an artist to help them.
Yeah.
With that, and we'll pay the artist. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
okay. Any other business? I wish I had a kitty cat that was climbing on me and making me warm on a rainy night.
Oh, it's really sad.
Jane.
With Clover.
Yeah, Jane?
I just wanted to let Brian know, insofar as Daisy Art, creation, I talked to Miss Bean over at Melrose Library, and I'm working with the Kiwanis with this Larry the Log Perch book that they're putting out. And I've made an 8-foot long log perch. And
Wow.
and Miss Bean has given me clearance to take it to Melrose and work on it one day a week with the kids over there.
Great.
Cool.
And I've got the whole thing built, and one side's got one layer of red paper. The other side I built with Gorilla Clear tape, so I can put litter and stuff inside of it and have a conversation with kids about litter and where it goes and how it ends up in the animals and stuff.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And they can also see how the whole thing's built, you know?
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Woohoo.
Is that going to, is that going to march in the parade along with on the Appalachian species?
It might, yeah. I'm loving the Appalachian species.
I don't know anything about the Appalachian species. Tell me about that.
I did not know.
There's one group, they're mostly coming from Floyd, and I know Polly, you put me in contact with them before.
Okay.
They do this for Earth Day there, so there might be a competition with Earth Day here. But they wanted to make large Appalachian species type of objects. They wanted people here in Roanoke that are involved with the parade to go there on the following weekend to do things, in their event. And then I said, sure, I'll promote it if you will come and be in the parade here. So
Oh, gotcha, but that following weekend is.
the following weekend is the one there.
Is Earth Day.
It's typically Earth Day, and I'm trying to get Earth Day reestablished in the Northwest area,
Yeah.
which used to be our mission back in the nineties, when I was more involved with Earth Day. So,
And you had it last year.
a little one, yeah.
So that's gonna happen again this year. The same,
Yeah, this year they have,
Still working on agreements, so.
yeah.
the marathons on that day too. Yeah, it's crazy.
What was, Floyd Fest was paused for a year because they needed to work and protect a specific species.
Turtles, they should do
That
turtles.
should be, that, whatever that animal is.
And there was one at Mill Mountain,
Should be
at
a
Mill
part
Mountain.
of that
I should
parade,
compliment
because
them.
Bambi's
was a
last
big-
project had the turtle. John Woodrum did one of those turtles is up at Mill Mountain Zoo. He did an art project.
Oh, John Wood-
Yeah, what is it? It's kind of turtle.
I forget the name of it, but I installed the sign for
It's
it.
a
but
bog turtle. It was a bog turtle.
Bog turtle, a bog turtle. Yeah,
Good. You think it's mobile or heavy? Probably heavy.
excellent. All right, well, thank you all. We went a little bit over, but this was a terrific meeting and we really appreciate all that you're doing. And thanks for being on the call.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh, well, so you have to press power on the remote and on the side. Now I know.
And I need to learn how to.
This is the behind the scenes technical problems.
Yeah.